Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It's the Sunday night show with the Truth Serum. Thank you for those who joined yesterday and in the past and everything. I'm going to leave the shows to the weekends, Saturday night. Jeez, I need a prop person. I need a producer. I need an assistant. I'm hiring. So I'm going to leave these open forums, tell stories. I'm going to leave these open for Saturdays and Sundays. I was watching the Bills game. They're blowing out the Jets. They just finally replaced Wilson. So I hope everybody did good on their games. We did good. And thank you, gods above. The New York Jets, yeah. The New York, I got a guy commenting here. He's been here before, good guy. The New York Jets 15. Screw the Jets. I've had enough. How long did they have to look at this Zach Wilson? The poor kid, he's like a deer in headlights. How long did that coach have to see this poor kid just go in there and shit his pants? The defense hung in there long enough. How long could the defense be out on that field? I seriously believe that if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt, and then that defense got half a game of rest, like normal teams do, they'd have been a Pro Bowl contender. Easily. So it looks like the Bills are back on track, Yeah, he's done, though. If they put Zach Wilson on the field at home one more game, you'll hear 75,000 boos. What more do you got to see? How big of a test sample do you want? He'll be in construction next year. He'll be working construction. Nah, I wish the guy well. The NFL's tough. It's tough. I was an athlete. It's tough. But they make millions, but that's another story. So this is my second episode. Questions and answers is... Oh, his grandfather started JetBlue. What? They sponsor the Jets, do them. What the doing? Holy cow. Well, I'm pleased to have a guest in here tonight. I'm doing an open forum. I do question and answers. It doesn't have to be all mob stuff. And anything in general. I'd like to try to help people struggling with any kind of advice, or I don't want to say therapy or any, but people struggle, and sometimes people just need somebody to talk to. I mean, it's not all bells and whistles. People are out there struggling, and I'm for the underdog, because when I was the underdog, I got saved many different ways, from the flesh and from the spirits. So, I'm going to leave it on that. I'm not going to do the shows. Well, I say show because I got to hype it up, because some only get 37 views or 40. But then if I say, oh, the lawyer of John Gotti or Sammy the Bull, 1,500 views. But it gets old after a while. It just gets old. I mean, how long can you ride that pony? I have many more talents and education than, just talking about that stuff all the time. Have you seen the Getting Gotti show on? Nah. I never watched one episode of The Sopranos. You get overdosed on it. It's like being overdosed on all that negativity and bad memories. And like I said on my the first show that I'm starting, we can't have that in our essence. Those bad vibes, and I gotta stop swearing too, because your words go out there and it's no good. So I'm gonna try to clean up my act. It's a little tough, but I don't know. It's a little tough, but we did good on the football. The Texans, they were good. They were a good one. Jacksonville, that was a bad line, that game. They won by 20 or whatever. And yeah, Kevin, good to see you. Welcome in. Go Browns and Buffalo. That Cleveland game was, whoo, man. The kid come in. Yeah, the Texans. He's CJ Stroud, but Arizona had a chance at the end, and I needed the Texans, and I had Cleveland also, and I had Jacksonville, and I had another one there, but Houston's won 3 in a row. Houston's defense was holding up, and the Arizona Cardinals, they fought back. I moved the line to 4.5. They won by 5, 21-16. So thank you, RB. I know you'll be out. I know you're out there somewhere, RB, but we'll be going to cash tomorrow or Tuesday. You know, I don't bet big. I can't afford to bet big, but that's all. I don't want to be a tout anyways. If anybody wants to go comments, they go on my other thing, but I'm not here to be a tout and tout games. I mean, if somebody wants to support, the Giants was a great pick today as well. I like I know the new quarterback, Tadio. I like that new quarterback. He showed good when he came in. He showed good when they just threw him in the last quarter, and well, anybody was better than Mac, the old Mac attack. Anybody was better. DeVito. Oh, DeVito. Yeah, and that was a good play. I didn't want to make my parlay too big, but I looked at that. Washington ain't going anywhere. Right? Washington, where they going? So, yeah, that was a good, you know. Oh, they're all, now McDermott and Joe Brady, the new coordinator for the Buffalo Bills, and they're all, they didn't accomplish nothing today by beating the Jets. The Jets defense has been out on the field all game. They're still playing right now. It's probably going to be 50-6 final. That's not anything impressive by the Bills. And now everything's fine in Buffalo and everything. I mean, I'm supposed to be a Bills fan, but I got different. You know who I'm a fan? What team I'm a fan of? I'm a fan of the team that I cash a parlay on. That's the fan I am. Whatever team. I'm a fan of the Houston Texans today. I'm a fan of Jacksonville today. I'm a fan of Cleveland today. I'm a fan of San Fran. I'm a fan of, traditionally the Buffalo Bills, but you wonder why I went premature gray? Well, there's your answer. Yeah. You know, that's my answer. You know, we want to be loyal fans and everything else. And then this Pagula, he don't put a big product. He's a chiseler, you know, the owners, and they're sitting back laughing, and you got to pay $200 in the winter to sit in a nosebleed seat. And they want to put a questionable product on the field. I don't cry no river for none of them. None of them. I'm rooting for me. I'm rooting for me to try to put gas in my car or try to buy a steak or something. I'm rooting for me. I'm not swearing anymore. I'm not swearing. But now tonight it's Minnesota and Denver, the next game. Denver's got a sneaky good defense. Denver does have a sneaky good defense, which they displayed. Oh, we caught that game last week when we put the curse on Ken Dorsey. Me and my buddy, we were waiting in the bushes for that. Yeah, we're waiting in the bushes like a gazelle in the African Delta when the hyena's just waiting in the bushes, or the lion, and then they pounce. We were waiting on that. Was like waiting on prey. Poor gazelle. Oh, well. So everything's good here. Kevin Flack, the New York Jets, the rapper. Everything's good. And I want to stress that if people come in here, I know it's sports night, Saturday and Sunday and everything. It's sports time and everything. But if anybody struggles in anything with their wife or their spouse or their husband, or I know I mostly have male viewers here, but if you need a ear, I'm here Saturdays and Sundays, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, and we talk things over. That's all. I got to put a good vibe back out to the universe because I was spared many times, and I can't just be a madman and talk about mafia stories and all that because it ain't good anymore. It's just not good. Yeah, it gets views and everything else, but I'm a Renaissance man. I could wear many different hats. I'd like to believe. Maybe I'm nauseating. Maybe I don't know. But nonetheless, I got a new marketing plan. I got a new game plan. And we're going to do that. It's open forum. We talk about sports. We could talk about how to grow a tomato plant. We could talk about what do you do now that your spouse left you, or why are you behaving in such a way? Why am I doing drugs like a madman? Why am I drinking a 12 pack before 3 p.m.? Why this? Why that? Well, we'll try to find things out. I'm gonna try to just keep forging ahead. One thing you guys know is I just keep pumping these out. One thing well, the Jefferson's still out, right? Jefferson. They had some injuries. Well, because Denver's not a pushover. Denver's got a sound defense. Everybody's perceiving Denver as when Miami put 70 up on them. So everybody's still perceiving Denver as that. They're not any world beaters, but you got to look twice at them sometimes because you do have Wilson as quarterback. Not Wilson. What Miguel? How many Wilson? What am I losing my mind? And you got the coach that's been around, so they're dangerous. Just from the quarterback and that coach Shanahan, they're just based on that. They'll slow the game down, and then if the quarterback gets a couple shots down the field, he's a seasoned veteran. He's seasoned. They haven't seen a pass rush like the Denver side of the ball, but oh well. I'm done with my bets for the day. So so I'm gonna start doing my show like that, and like anybody wants to talk, or I might tell a story about any kind of story. Just I need company. That's why I need company. I need company. So I got to figure out stuff to talk about. Oh, I remember in high school, I was tall, right? I was tall, 15, 16. Kevin Fleck, I was a subscriber since you had long hair, the cup of JoJo, the interest stuff you talk about. Thank you, Kevin. Remember what kind of kick? Maybe it was a midlife crisis. I don't know. I'm 60 years old. It's like, I don't know. That's life, I mean, everybody goes through these things. But that's funny, man. That's funny. I remember in high school, okay? And it ain't good to slurp either, man. Oh, geez, it's not good to slurp. I'm sorry. In high school, I'm like in 11th grade, 10th grade. I'm taller. So there was a nightclub downtown. And I used to like to get in there like on Wednesday. So my sister was older and I was tall. So I could get through the door because they would just think my sister wouldn't be dating no young kid, right? So I'd get through the door. Now I'm in there. I think I'm like in the 10th grade or something. And now there's older people. And I saw my social studies teacher in there. Very animated, colorful guy. And I'm looking, and he's really cozied up on this girl. And I know it's not his wife. And he was off to the side, and it's where you gotta walk. The bathroom's over there. So I figured I'm gonna bust his chops so he knows I see him. So I walk by. I say, "Hey, hi, Mr. J," and he says, "Monty Rock, Monty Rock," and just to. So I come out, and he says, "Hey, come here," and he says, "You're underage." I said, "Really? Who's the lovely lady you're with?" Who's this lovely lady you're with? I know who his wife was because she used to come in the parking lot after class and everything, and everybody knew who everybody was. And he went, "Huh?" And I said, "Oh," he said, "Oh, have a nice night." Oh, yeah. I don't know why that came to my head. But yeah, I used to be able to get into the nightclubs because I was taller at 16, 17, 15. And I would hang out with my older sister and her girlfriends, and I would just get in. So the bouncer at the door just thought I was one of their friends. Didn't even get. So, yeah. He said, "You're underage, Monty Rock." Oh, now I see him. Now that's a Wednesday. Thursday, we got class. So I get up, the class is coming in there and everything. And he's outside the door waiting. Like he's like, "I'm waiting for this Monty. I'm waiting for him." So I go by and he says, hey, come here. He says, "Come here." And "Hey, Mr. Spataro." So he says, "Hey, everything's cool?" And I said, "I got no problem with anything." I said, if I wasn't already an A student, I'd be getting an A. Or, but he was cool though, but he was an animated, cool guy. But holy cow, he was cheating on his wife. Jeez. And she was beautiful and lovely, and they had children. We're gonna talk about relationships at some point in time. And and it was an awkward feeling whenever I would see them together, because I saw him subsequently other times with her in another bar a county away, because in one county the bars would close at like 2 a.m. and then you could go to the next county, which is 20 minutes away, and them bars closed at 4 a.m. Lo and behold, there he is cuddled up. He had a few toddies in him, and he said, "What, are you following me, Monty Rock?" I said, no, my sister and all them are over there. I said, "Are you going to make it to class tomorrow?" He said, "Yeah," but he was cool and everything. But it's, cheaters, man. So many cheaters out there. A lot of, ooh. I used to do relationship counseling. I'm not just a mob, whatever. I used to have people, clients, relationship counseling, and it was just, it was kind of like they're trying to repair. Some people they're just not meant to be together. There's been too much damage done, and well, a lot of these counselors, marriage counselors or therapists, psychologists and psychiatrists, they think the goal is to keep these two together at all costs. No. Sometimes there's things that are irreparable and you have to move on. And then if there's children involved, it makes things more complicated. But boy, I've known a lot of whore masters out there. Holy cow. Do you remember the old Chicago Stadium? No. What was that? The Chicago Stadium. I'm getting Alzheimer's. I'm getting Alzheimer's. I can't even remember the Broncos quarterback. What his name was that used to play for Seattle. Oh yeah, Russell Wilson. All right, Russell Wilson. So you know, yeah. The New York Jets' divorce almost killed me. Starting over at 40 sucks. Well, listen, thank you for sharing that, Mr. Jets. It's tough. It's tough. I've been like the Madhouse on Madison. It's nice to have a significant one. Now I'm 60 years old, and now it's just to have a nice lady friend that enjoys doing things. I'm not looking for not saying that it ain't nice. It's, but it's not about, I'm not looking for love and marriage. Just a nice lady. We go do things, gamble and go whatever. And on that level, everybody has different objectives, but starting over at 40, yeah, I mean, and whatever the reasons are, you have to just compartmentalize it, if that's a word, compartmentalize. Just bury it, blaming the finger. Well, you're right. You're right. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm right. You're wrong. It's not a matter of who's right or who's wrong. There'll never be time for healing, and it's just going to cause more distress in your body. You're not going to feel like eating. Your vibe ain't going to be. Your vibe's not going to be right. Yeah, it stinks, especially once upon a time couples were in love, and then certain things happen, and what happens is, that resentment, Mr. Jets, the New York Jets 15, no disrespect and not saying your name right. That resentment, tough to do because I'm so close with her family and my ex. Yeah, it's like you're divorcing the whole family, Yeah, it does. Because it's like, well, if there was some dirty laundry thrown around, and now how do you look in your in-laws? How do you look in their eyes, or how does she look in your family's eyes? Because there's a lot, Kevin Flack, I had a drug addiction with my girlfriend, and I was with her for 10 years. I left her 6 years ago because she wouldn't get sober. Kevin Flack, you come to the right place. I was on drugs for a long time. I was going to the city to cop, not because I was on pain meds. The truth storm, you got an excuse to why you went to go get street heroin and stuff, because the doctor wrote you drugs and then you graduate. I did drugs because I like the feeling of drugs. And I got degrees in addiction counseling, and I did speeches at places. I did drugs because I like the feeling of drugs. And I overdosed on that garbage methadone in 2014. Dead. That's why I'm spiritual. I was spiritual my whole life, but that's why. And I wrote a book, They Dead Missed. And I never did drugs after that. I was on life support for a year, and they thought I would be a vegetable, but maybe half a vegetable, but we're still rocking and rolling. So thank you for sharing that. And you know what? The old historic Kevin Flack, if I may say your name, the historic recovery system and those archaic dinosaur theories and policies, you could throw out the window. Yes, well-intended people. But I wrote, ironically, a paper on this my first time in college. And unbeknownst to me, that later on I evolved into craziness. But the success rate of these recovery places are 3 to 5%. What's that mean? 5 out of 100 get sober and stay clean for more than a year. People would do that by accident if there was no recovery system. So we all have problems here. Yes, it's nice to have support and thing, but at the end of the day, only you can stop yourself from binging or anything. A pot ain't bad, but only you are responsible for you. 90 meetings in 90 days. My name is Joe. I'm a drug addict. I used to do 4 bags of dope a day. Hi, Joe. Well, what are we doing here? It's meant in good faith, but now the next guy, if I say now the next guy says, I drink 9 beers a day. The next guy after him, like it's a badge of honor. Well, I drink a case a day. Good afternoon, Dave. Glad to have you here. And it's like a badge of honor. Who's the worst druggie? Come on. Well, this is my 30th meeting straight. That's well-intended stuff, but it's not a proven theory. We already know the answer. Why does the answer, geez, I got to stop doing drugs. I got to stop doing crack. I got to stop shooting heroin. I got to stop snorting whatever. I got to stop drinking alcohol. What do I do? What do I do? Somebody out there give me the answer. Well, here's a concept. Here's a novel concept. Stop doing it. Well, I had a bad childhood, and well, this happened and that happened, and all this stuff. Like, get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Live your life. You're responsible. I was in a service-oriented thing where I had clients. I talked to couples. I talked to people on their own and everything. But I try to make them know that the answers. There's some issues we could resolve. We could unpack some things, and we could get Freudian. We could go Skinner, or we could talk about theorists, psychologists that have been around, and we could talk about their theories and all of that, and maybe try to make a semblance of it. But in reality, at the end of the day, you have to be responsible and take control. I raise your vibe. I always say we are kings and queens. We have the divine spark in us. The world will throw a lot of shit at you. The world is a vampire. I tell you all the time. The world will sling some shit. But we have the divine spark. Oh, that's just some fancy saying maybe. Where did you get that from? It's historically proven. And we are more powerful as human beings as we have been conformed to believe. I grew up, and then I was nurtured, and then I went through schooling, and then, there's government and there's other things. And nowhere along the line was I taught about sacred knowledge, sacred geometry, where did the human really come from? Like this Darwin's evolution of bullshit. And there's a missing, we are intermingled with the gods. We are intermingled with the gods, plural. That's why I say we are gods. Be the kings and queens of your world. We've been programmed and conditioned to think that we're weak, and something happened here. Well, the answer's over there. So now why I know the answer's over there, that'll justify, because a lot of people like to just stay stuck in shit. People just like to play the violin. And then that justifies that, they could just keep repeating that behavior. Life happens. And that, of course, that's easier said than done, because people have gone through some atrocious stuff. But at some point in time, you got to pull yourself up and realize who you are, what your origin of you is, what is this energy vessel, and then raise your vibe, because like, Vicodin. Yeah, they had the Vicodins. Then they got the Oxycontins and everything else. Yeah. You see, when I'm gonna start talking about like our minds are so polluted by the media and other stuff from the time we can read, write, or watch TV. Our minds are being so infiltrated and polluted by, and now that is our reality. That becomes our reality. But I'll say this and I'll simplify it because I don't want to get too complicated. Your words that come out of your mouth. Now I got to stop swearing. Your words that come out of your mouth. It's the strongest vibration, the tongue. We're a human being with a tongue, and a word has vibration. A word goes out onto the matrix, and that's like acts as your agent. Now I swear and I say, motherfucker, that no good, bad, bah, 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 bah. I'm putting this negative stuff on the matrix. The matrix, it's the ether, it's the air, it's the universe. I'm putting this bad juice of words. That mother effer, you know what? That whore, that pig, that sleaze, bah, 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 bah. I'm putting that, those words are alive. The words. In the beginning, there was the word, and then the word became life. It's real, scientifically. So now, all these words you say are polluting your matrix, your space. So I gotta clean my act up because so when I want to connect to a good vibe, that vibe that I'm trying to run parallel with, maybe to attract something into my life or manifest something into my life, is some roadblocks in there. It's got to bob and weave around all this bad energy and bad words, and then I'm hating, and then I'm swearing. So I'm polluting that. I got to stop that. So I got a clean highway right to the matrix. And now I can manifest and think things as if they already happened. And now I can tap in. Because out there are all the possibilities in the universe. Anything you can imagine is out there. It's out there. Infinite number of possibilities are out there. How do you connect to something you want to bring into your life? We're not going to get that deep into it because I know we talk football and everything, but I'm glad you got clean the New York Jets because nobody got you clean. I don't care if you went to therapy. You might have had you might have had well-intended people. You might have had well-intended people in your corner cheering for you, the New York Jets. But you got yourself clean, bro. You got yourself clean. Mm-hmm. Oh, that I went to St. Vincent de Paul Recovery Center and I relapsed. So, the recovery center, St. Vincent de Paul, failed you? So what? So they run around. Oh, this is my 7th time in rehab. Well, so the rehab system failed 7 times? No, you failed 7 times. Whoever kept relapsing, they failed. The rehab was there as a crutch to provide compassion and policies that don't work, but they were there. But only you can get out of that straitjacket. Only you. And if you fail, it's not the recovery system that failed. That's just a whole political that's all wishy-washy addiction centers. And I was a licensed addiction counselor. I had degrees in many fields, business, marketing, accounting, addiction, psychology, a lot of different things. I'm not just get up there like I always just talk about gangster stories. Oh yeah, they killed it. No. There's more. There's more to me than that. There's more. And we're gonna start doing these open forums, and maybe we get just some momentum as we go along. That's all. But when I overdosed on that methadone, I knew it wasn't heroin because I know the properties of heroin. I lost some friends too. I lost some people to that. And then I was on life support for a long time. But when I finally came back, oh, Joe, it's good that you're clear. I never had the urge to use again. I just never had the urge to use drugs. It wasn't like I was struggling to be clean up to today for 10 years, but I never had the urge to do it again. It wasn't a battle. Like, oh, I'm sweating every day. I want to go do some dope. Oh, geez, oh, don't do it, Joe. Don't do it. Oh, I want to go take a ride to the city. No, it wasn't even a struggle. It fell off of me. The universe, thank you, universe. Thank you, gods. Thank you. Thank you, guardian angels. Thank you, guardian angels. So, and I wrote a book that describes memoirs of some of my travels. They dead missed. There's a link in there, blah, 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 blah. So stay strong, my man. If you could conquer that, you could conquer the world, bro. You could conquer the world. You can just, you can, there's nothing you can't do. Yeah, you see in Kevin Flack, I wish the best for you. Spataro, what are you eating? Pizza? So we'll leave it at 35 minutes. Thank you, folks, for coming in. I'm going to do these Saturday evening, Sunday evening. We'll just talk about that. And thank you for your help. Thank you for your help. And, I got to have to guard my words. And then I'm going to connect to some of the things I'm going to try to bring into my life. So let's all try it together, okay? There's power in numbers, and we'll get there. Thank you. I hope the universe blesses you. And share, like, subscribe, boom, and all that stuff. Whatever you do, thank you. God bless you all.